Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So for this week, we are taking a look at a favorite one that we did last year, but we can only do really once a year, okay? And that's because our theme for this week is we are taking a look at books that are 10 years old. So that means we are taking a look at books that were published all the way back in 2013. I know that doesn't seem a long time ago, but it's been 10 years. How crazy is that? And I will tell you this. One thing I realized about 2013, publishing worldwide when I was looking for books for this one, is it was actually kind of hard to find books that were either standalones or were first in a series, because that was one of my qualifiers for this. Like, we weren't going to talk about a book that was already in the middle of a series. And there was something about 2013 that there were a lot of books that came out in the middle of series. So with that said, though, we found some amazing books that are 10 years old. Some are ones maybe you've heard of before. Some have been turned into movies. Others are the start of a series. Others are standalone. I cannot wait to show them. So let's get started. Our first one starts with These Broken Stars, okay? This is the first book in a science romance trilogy. So if you like some science fiction with some romance, here you go. So we start on board on the luxury starliner named Icarus. And it's there that we meet two characters. One is Major Tarver Merendenson, who is this recent war hero. Okay, he's on there because he has this quick fame right now. And then we also meet Lilac LaRue. And Lilac is the daughter of the richest man in the whole galaxy, and he happens to own the ship Icarus, okay? Now, they are on board, everything's going great, and it's when an unknown force hits the Icarus and the Starliner becomes in trouble, especially with its gravitational pull, that Tarver and Lilac find themselves in an escape pod together, landing on an unfamiliar planet where they are going to need to rely on one another if they are going to survive. But each are wary of the other one for their own personal reasons, which you will come to learn about. And it's when Lilac starts to figure out that there may be other life on this planet, that their survival starts with their choices, and it's going to be up to them if they are going to survive. Now, this one is heavy on the romance, okay? You've been warned, okay? So if you're looking for more science fiction than romance, maybe not it. But if you want a book heavy on the romance with some science fiction stuff mixed in, well, as some adventure, These Broken Stars. Madman'S Daughter. Okay, another first in a series. What I love about this one, though, is this one is inspired by a classic that many people probably have not heard of before, okay? So it's inspired by H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau. And I will tell you, this one is not for the faint of heart, okay? I read it. It's a great read. Curly lower end. And it can get some pretty gory, creepy things going on here, okay? So Juliet is 16 years old. She lives in London with her mother. Her father left them behind when he fled after being accused of a scandal, and he thought he was going to be arrested, so he took off. It's when her mother dies, though, that Juliet left on her own. She's trying to survive on her own, which is really hard to do in London in the 1800s as a single female. And she decides that she needs to go find her father. So she needs to get to her father, who is living on an island in the middle of the ocean, far from her current location. She decides to make the journey, though. When she successfully arrives, nothing can prepare her for her father and what he has been doing on this island. It is on this island that her father has decided that he wants to make semi-humans, which are individuals that are part human, part animals, and nightmares come to life, especially as her father devolves even further into his madness. And you, well as Juliet, will be along for this ride. Okay, yeah, not for the faint of heart, but it's a ride, okay? Now, this is the first in a trilogy, again, part historical, part science fiction, part horror. This will be one that you may not want to have to put this book down because you're busy reading it, but you may have to at times. This is The Madman'S Daughter, Taken by Aaron Bowman. So this is the first in a completed trilogy. It's set in the futuristic town of Clayswood, okay? And it's in this town that every single male is taken just after midnight on the morning that they turn 18. And this event is known as the heist. Gray, our main character, he witnessed his brother Blaine's heist just last year when he vanished in a flash of light, and Gray knows his turn is coming up shortly. There was only a year apart, between him and Blaine, okay? It is when Gray, though, discovers a letter written by his mother that leads him on this hunt, this fact-finding mission through his medical records, that Gray discovers something that actually causes more questions than what he thought he would have. He was looking for answers. He didn't get answers, okay? He discovers that he and Blaine were actually twins. So that would make them the same age. And Gray then has no idea why he wasn't taken in the heist as well at the same time Blaine was, okay? Now, deciding he needs to find answers, he decides he's going to escape the village that he lives in Claysa with a girl named Emma to go explore the outside, which is off limits. But when he gets to the outside, they quickly discover that things are not black and white, but there is a bigger realm of questions they ever thought possible. Now, this one does end on a pretty epic cliffhanger, but with that said, it is a completed trilogy, so you can get the second one as soon as you get done with the first one, so you don't have to wait. Now, you enjoy a dystopian, action-packed novel. This is everything you want and more. Take it. The Archives. So in this thriller, the afterlife is basically like a library, okay? The histories of the dead are stored there in what's called the archive. And there are librarians in the archive who are called keepers. And it's their job to make sure the spirits stay there even after they wake. Mackenzie's father was a keeper, but when he passes away, it is now her responsibility. Like, his job and the torch has passed on to her. When one spirit, though, gets away, things get complicated. And it's going to be up to Mackenzie to figure out what exactly is going on. And then more and more spirits are set loose, and someone is doing it intentionally. That's right, okay? This mysterious thriller is one that will keep you guessing at every turn as you go on this adventure with Mackenzie and some of the friends she meets along the way. If you love libraries, if you love stuff that deals with the afterlife, yeah, The Archive. The Moon and More. Okay, a Sarah Dessen. Okay, we have to have some Sarah Dessen in this one. I mean, like, she was extremely popular, okay, 10, 15 years ago, okay? But still some awesome books. The Moon and More, no exception, okay? So recent high school graduate Emmeline, she's spending her last summer in her beach town. In just a few months, she will be leaving with her boyfriend Luke to attend college, and everything will be going to plan, okay? That is what the goal is. But just as her summer begins, her life is upended when her estranged father, whom she has not seen for 10 years, appears out of the blue, no warning, with her half-brother, with news that changes everything for her future. Then another individual arrives who shakes her world up as well, okay? That would be a filmmaker intern, Theo, who is there for the summer working on a project, and Emmeline can't help but feeling drawn to him as he encouraged her to think beyond what she has ever known and what was always thought to be, quote, the plan, okay? And that it's okay for her to question what her choices are for her future. If you enjoy a summer romance that could actually happen, okay, if you've read Sarah Dessen before, you know what you're walking into. It's incredibly well written. The Moon and More. And our last 2013 read for this week, The Fifth Wave. Okay, so Cassie is one of a few humans left on Earth. Aliens sent numerous waves of destruction, with the goals being to destroy the human race, and Cassie finds herself without friends or family. She's on a mission now. She believes her younger brother Sam is alive at a military base, and she is going to find him. That's not going to be as easy as it's said, though, because as Cassie starts to navigate this journey while trying not to be killed by aliens during the fifth wave of attacks, she also has to decide who she can and cannot trust as she meets individuals along the way as she tries to survive on this seemingly never-ending journey. This science fiction dystopian trilogy will leave you with so many questions as you read, and will leave you wondering what is going to happen next. You'll be asking yourself, what would you do if I found myself in an alien invasion? Like, what lengths would I go in order to survive and find my family? They did turn this one into a movie, okay? I will tell you that. I will give you a disclaimer. The book is better. I can promise you that, okay? The Fifth Wave. So these are just 6 of the amazing books that we have here that were published all the way back in 2013. They are 10 years old, but they are, guess what? Just as good today. So I encourage you to come on out, check out one of these, or we have other books that were published in 2013, or we have books that were published just last week. A little bit of something for everyone. Come on out, we'll help you find that perfect read you're looking for. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you tune back next time for a whole new Teen Book Spotlight.